Hey everybody, so I haven't done any new hockey card videos in quite a while on this channel because, well, I haven't gotten any new hockey cards. That is until last night when my friend Seth gave me this new set here, completely unopened as you can see, 1991-92 NHL Pro set. So we're going to take a look at and see what we've got inside here today. Before we get into the video, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please hit that thumbs up button and give this video a like. That greatly helps out the channel. And if you're new, to please hit that subscribe button and follow along for all my hockey content this season and all year round. So as you can see, I have not opened this pack yet. I have no idea what's inside. We are going to find out together as I take a look here, but I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Seth for giving me this pack. It's awesome. I've gotten a lot of these from my friends over the last couple of years, and it's awesome that, you know, they find this stuff and they give it to me because they know that I definitely have interest in it, and it's, you know, something I spend a lot of time with and am interested in. So let's see if we can get this open without destroying the pack, because I like to put the cards back in the package when I'm done looking at them, and it already ripped, so never mind. Sometimes it's difficult, especially with these being, you know, 25 to 30 years old. So here we go. Let's see, there should be 15 cards in this pack. And the first one we have is from the St. Louis Blues, Rich Sutter. So, obviously not the most famous Sutter to ever play in the NHL, but Rich Sutter for St. Louis. Let's take a look here. See, 90-91 season, he had 16 goals and 11 assists for the St. Louis Blues in 77 games played. Honestly, everything's in French on the back of these cards. You probably can't get it clear enough for you guys to see that, but everything is in French on these cards. So that's going to be a little bit tougher for me to read because I don't speak French, but the names at least are not. So there's Rich Sutter. Here's a good one. This is a great one. Rick Tocchet, now the coach of the Arizona Coyotes, back playing for the Philadelphia Flyers. Very, very good NHL player, very tough player, long NHL career. And yeah, 90-91 season for Tocchet, 70 games played with the Flyers, 40 goals, 31 assists for 71 points and 150 penalty minutes. He was one tough SOB, and he could play as well. Big-time power forward, but not a goon in any sense. He could fight like a goon, but he could play too. And obviously he had a 40-goal season in 90-91. Here's another cool card. Peter Svoboda. Really not a name that, kind of a forgotten name in history, but Montreal Canadiens defenseman here. If you watch like old hockey videos and stuff, you'll definitely recognize the name Peter Svoboda. See, 60 games played in 90-91 for the Canadiens, 4 goals, 22 assists for 26 points, 52 penalty minutes. Yeah, just that's a cool card from kind of a forgotten player in NHL history. Okay, here's a player that I don't know, from the Winnipeg Jets, Pat Eliniak. I don't know even how you say that. I never heard of him, so this is a new player, a new card. This is interesting. It's like he was a forward for the Winnipeg Jets, and let's see, 90-91, he played 80 games. He had 31 goals and 34 assists for 65 points. So, good player. I've just never heard of him. I don't know him, but seemed like a good player. 65 points, 74 the year before that. So, looks like he was a pretty solid player. Let's see, another Philadelphia Flyers card. This one is a center, Pelee Eklund, another guy that I'm not particularly familiar with. He played for Philadelphia 1990-91. He played 73 games. He had 19 goals and 50 assists for 69 points. He had 62 points the year before and 69 points the year before that. So it looks like a pretty solid player in the late 80s, early 90s for Philadelphia. Just not a name that I recognize. Here we go from the New Jersey Devils, Eric Weinrich, defenseman for New Jersey. Let's see here what we've got. So 90-91 was his first full season in the NHL. He had played 76 games. He had 4 goals, 34 assists for 38 points. So not a bad first full season in the league. He did play 19 games the year before in 89-90. He had 9 points in those 19 games. So upcoming defenseman at this point for New Jersey. Here's a name that I think pretty much everybody is going to know. Craig McTavish for the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, he's one of the more famous players from this era. Definitely somebody that everyone knows. Played on some great Oilers teams. He's gone on to be involved in management and stuff throughout the years. But definitely a name that you all probably recognize. 90-91, he played 80 games. He had 17 goals and 15 assists for 32 points and 76 penalty minutes. Again, he wasn't really a star player, but just because of the teams that he was on and then his going on to having, roles throughout hockey after he was done as a player, is just a very recognizable name there with Craig McTavish. Another name that I think pretty much everyone should know, Igor Larionov. Now, this is early career Igor Larionov when he first came over to the NHL from Russia, playing for the Vancouver Canucks. Obviously, a lot of people remember him later in his career with the Detroit Red Wings. This is long before that. Larionov played 64 games with Vancouver in 1990-91, scoring 13 goals and 21 assists for 34 points. The year before, he played 74 games. He had 17 goals, 27 assists for 44 points. And obviously, he went on to have a very good NHL career and is a name that I think most people know. Definitely a name that everybody knows. If you are watching this channel and you don't know this name, you need to do some hockey research. Mark Messier, and this is an NHL All-Star card. He was still on the Oilers at this point, but obviously Mark Messier, one of the all-time greats in the NHL. Very famous, well-known player, one of the greatest of all time through the late 80s, 90s into the 2000s. I don't think there's much more I need to say about Mark Messier. Another Vancouver Canucks card, we have Dave Capuano. So Dave Capuano playing for the Vancouver Canucks. Let's see, 90-91, he played 61 games with the Canucks, scoring 13 goals, 31 assists for 44 points and 42 penalty minutes on the year. So looks like a middle-of-the-lineup guy for Vancouver. Not a player I'm totally familiar with, but nonetheless, there with Vancouver. Detroit Red Wings, Jimmy Carson. Let's see, Jimmy Carson, center for the Red Wings. Had a 100-point season with the Edmonton Oilers in 1988-89. Obviously, the Oilers, that was the Oilers' heyday back then. For Detroit, let's see, he got traded to the Red Wings in 1989-90, and he had 44 games played, 20 goals, 16 assists for 36 points after the trade. And then his first season in Detroit, 64 games played, 21 goals, 25 assists for 46 points. And then obviously this is heading into the 1991-92 season. So again, not a player I'm completely familiar with, but seemed like a pretty good player, certainly for Edmonton, and then obviously moved on to Detroit in the early 90s. Here's an interesting one. We've got a Dave Taylor, King Clancy, and Masterson Memorial Trophy card. So Dave Taylor, obviously a name from the Los Angeles Kings that a lot of people know. This is just a trophy card. We have another NHL All-Star card here. Brett Hull from the St. Louis Blues. No stats on the back, and everything's written in French, so I can't even read it. But here's an NHL All-Star card from Brett Hull, obviously all-time NHL player. Everyone knows Brett Hull. Ooh, this is interesting. What even is this? This is literally all in French. So I don't even know what this is or what this says. It looks like it's somebody who's scraping the ice and like using a shovel to scrape the snow off the ice, but I don't know who it is or what this card even is. Everything on the back is in French, so I don't know what it says. That word looks like resurfacing or something like that, so it might be talking about the history of ice resurfacing or something, but I don't know. That's an interesting card, but I can't fully read it because it's not in English. And here we go. I think we all know who this is without even reading the name. It's obviously Wayne Gretzky. This is his Lady Byng card from that year. Gretzky. I mean, it's Wayne Gretzky. I don't think I need to talk beyond that. Greatest, player in the history of hockey. And the final card, and this is a great one. This got buried at the back of the pack. Jarri Kurri from the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, Gretzky's line mate and longtime running mate with the Oilers. And then the Kings. Jarri Kurri. Actually, the pictures of him in Edmonton, but by this point, he had just been traded to the Kings. So this is technically a Los Angeles Kings card, if you see by the logo there. But he hadn't actually played for the Kings yet at this point. I mean, Jarri Kurri, incredible player, great line mate for Wayne Gretzky, and I think that's why they played together for so long. Obviously, multiple 90-point, 100-point plus NHL seasons, and great NHL career. So those are the 15 cards in this pack. Got some cool ones in there. Obviously, Curry's awesome. The Gretzky one. Brett Hull, Mark Messier's in here. Dave Taylor. Igor Larionov. Some no names or guys I wasn't totally familiar with, but Rick Tocchet as well. Peter Svoboda is a cool card. So pretty cool pack there. Huge shout out to my friend Seth for giving me that. That's awesome. I'm glad I got to open that and see what we've got for all of you as well and share those cards with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.